Day 27, Saturday, 21st of December 2024. We are, wow, that is great. Here I'm going to be talking about you are the physical manifestation of you. Is a compendium, is a manifestation of who you are in your soul, the mindset, whatever you see, your physical manifestation, exhibition, what is happening around you is a mirror to what is inside of you. It's a mirror to what is inside of you. Over the years, let me say between 10 years old and thereabouts 3 years ago, all the experiences I've had have come to learn that it was my mindset that was at play. It was either those experiences that wanted to come needed my permission to agree with it, be it through fear or what have you. They needed to project that which I've been experiencing over this range of years. It could come through experience, it could come through upbringing, it could come through parenting, it could come through whoever was co-parenting, it could come through whatever experiences, exposure, education, environment, relationships. But everything was geared at the devil is intentional, society is intentional. Whatever is projected to whichever inhabitants of any kind of environment, either colonized by a higher developing country or what have you, there is an agenda. Like I said, or like I used to say, fruits of the spirits, it just came to my mind not quite long, and I've been ruminating and meditating on it. Fruits of the spirits and fruits of the flesh. Fruit of the spirits, fruit of the flesh. Fruit of the spirit is love, peace, joy, self-control, and all that and all that. There are about 9. You are supposed to walk it out with fear and trembling, fear of God, in awe, in respect, in loyalty to who has helped you. You get? I can't imagine. I just noticed that I didn't fix the mic well. It's this well. God is our boss. We are going higher. We'll make use with what we have. We'll make do what we have. Yeah, let's go. So fruits of the spirits and fruits of the flesh. Fruits of the spirit. It said in the part of the Bible that this peace I give unto you, not like the world gives to you. Like that means the peace that the world gives to you is like fake. Is like facade, or is it called facade now? FACADE. Is not the real peace. You would still have to deal with some consequences later. That means the devil can be patient with you. The devil can bring love. That is why you hear different relationship experts saying that love is not enough. If you really want to you really want to examine and remove the fish and bone and skeleton and everything of what love is all about, love is enough. But because they will always be patching and patching and patching according to what we are dealing with at the moment in our generation, we would always want to put layers upon layers upon layers. What am I saying? Just like before, I was told, I don't know if it is true or not, that in the history of Christendom and Nigerian politics and governance, government and all, that once they hear that you are a Christian, they don't bother interviewing you. They just employ you. Or once they hear that you are from a particular denomination, maybe CAC or what have you, they don't bother to interview you. They assume that you've done your thorough diligence in a particular religious sect. But these days, what do we see? We know what we say about and what we experience. You see people that because they know that it is in church to get good girls, they come because of that. And because of the brainwashing for the girls in church, they've assumed that because I saw you in church, I don't have to question too much. And once you hear because of God, once you hear God said, we have been brainwashed. It's not as if it was not good, but the wolves have come in sheep clothing and they have been able to manipulate the vulnerability and the sincerity of the purity of the church or of life morals generally and all. So now all these experiences that have been projected that have been projected to me over the years, I've been able to culture my mindset to believe what I have experienced over the years. So I needed to admit, I needed to acknowledge that I had a part to play. If I was not alive in this body with this soul and spirit, there wouldn't have been a license, or there wouldn't have been an alarm in the spirit realm for whatever it is coming from, for a meeting to be held for whatever. Okay, we need to, for example, we need to admit Yanoluwa Kwande to this university. What is required? JAMB form, JAMB matric number. You have to pass the cutoff. All these requirements would have been null and void if I was not even educated to primary level or secondary level in the first place, or having science, or maybe having the number of required subjects, maybe number of passing sittings of exams and all that. So are you getting it? So for me to have been able to allow it, and the devil is patient, gradual, consistent, perseverance, and all that. We tend to see repetition in a bad way. But if you keep hearing something, positive or negative seeps better into us, because that is how the world is wired. They said even rejoice, your Olufisun, your reporter, in a bad way. That's the fastest English I can picture now. Your, I don't remember the English now, has been sent to the world. And they said the world cry and wail because they've sent the devil. That troublemaker has been sent to the world to you. So in a way, he has a legal right to be on earth, but he cannot stay on earth because it's a spirit. He has to keep going through the legal tenders on earth to keep perpetrating. So whatever I have experienced, tracing it back to where the whole thing could have started from, was when the mindset of what I experienced have been formed. They were being formed through the information I was garbaging in. You start seeing it. Unfortunately or fortunately, some stupid coincidences start coming up, and it will just cement it and just seal it that yes. And you will now start fighting yourself. You will now start fighting external forces. You now start, it will now justify the whole preaching that okay, you need to pray more. It's because I have not prayed more, it's because I have not done this one. Everything keeps pointing out to external activities. It doesn't really tell you to check yourself. And unluckily, when you see someone that wants to that really wants to profit with their giftings, and they've not pruned their giftings well, they've not subjected to the right trainings, they've not or developed themselves. At a particular point that I heard a particular preacher said that when he listens to his preaching some years back, he said, was I the one that preached this? Oh, those that lived then during that time and lived on it and actually lived on it, like they lived through that particular message, and Euclid and Seneca, they didn't even question it, and they've died. They have gone to be with the Lord in the process. How is their life going to be? The generations after them, those families are now knowing better. How do you think they're going to handle the trauma? There are lots of things we don't talk about today, but we need to talk about them. When did you start listening to some things that are predominantly manifesting in your life today? That's a lesson for today. When did they start? And mind you, be gracious to yourself when you start the transformation. Transformation is like transgender. Trans is just getting clearer. It's not a negative word or positive word. You can transform from a better to worse. You can transform from worse to better. It is like a trans lens. I'm trying to look at physics term now for that glass prism. It's where are you looking at more? It's like when you're having this hand shake kind of wall, and you need to know that the amount of the energy or amount of flushing you need to do or purging you need to do, you can't quantify it and say in the next 2 years I'll be done. Yours might be for a lifetime, because this is the battlefield of the mind. You have to keep insisting that I want the right thing, because maybe you have spent over 35 years doing garbaging of rubbish, and you just feel that maybe because I've been consistent in the past 2 years, or maybe you really want to determine and you think that you should just go like that. they too will not allow you go. It is